Hey there, BZ people, and welcome to the 10th episode in our Pokemon Yellow Randomizer Nuzlocke challenge. If you missed last episode, we did leave off on the SSN, and I did one battle to test out what the levels are going to be like, and I think we're going to try and skip as many trainers as we can in this episode, because we're still higher level than the trainers on the SSN. We're only going to battle people when we have to get items. But my goal is to actually possibly get to Lieutenant Surge and beat him in this episode. At the very least, I want to get off the SSN. So let's go ahead and go over our team and get this episode started then. First off, the newest member of our team, we have Pirate Equine with 45 attack, 36 defense, 49 speed, and 37 special. Also has 55 HP, rocking the Ember and the Earthquake. Unless we get some more TMs that would go well on him, these are the only moves he's going to have. But that's okay, I really like him. Also, we have the Tuma. That is a Weezing with 52 attack, 63 defense, 38 speed, and 50 special, and 69 HP. Now, this Weezing, when he was a little coughing, his mother told him, Weezing, you can be whatever you want. Sorry, coughing, you can be whatever you want when you grow up. And she wasn't kidding. I mean, look at the stats. It's a great stat range, minus the speed, but he can take the hits to make up for it. Unfortunately, we only have given him Tackle, Smog, and Sludge so far. So hopefully we can find something to put on him and help his mother's dreams for him come true. Next up, we have Ma Grizzly, the one that we really turn to whenever we get into an issue. It has 57 attack, the reason why we turn to it, 49 defense, 55 speed, 30 special, 84 HP. It has Comet Punch, Rage, Leech Seed, and Bite. And finally, our starter, the one, the only, the misspelled Shinigami, the Ghastly with 30 attack, 28 defense, 51 speed, and 62 special. At 53 HP, Ghastly's mother's like, Ghastly, when you grow up, you have to hit things hard, quickly, on the special side, because you can't really do much else. Our Ghastly has Lick, Confuse Ray, Nightshade, and Thunder, so that we do have something that will hit on the special side. That is our team. Let's get this episode started. You might find this interesting to know, but I got about 3 minutes into recording this episode previously and realized my microphone wasn't picking up any sound. So this is my second time trying to record it. I didn't make it any further than this battle, so I don't know what the item is. I do know what this guy has, though. And I know that having Ponytail in front was very advantageous for us. But I do have a question of the day for you. My question of the day for you, the BZ people, is what is your favorite type of Pokemon? Now, I'm not just saying from the first-gen games, because I know they've added 3 more types since then, which, you know, it's kind of crazy. They've only added 3 types, and at the same time, they've added 3 types. For me, if I was talking just Gen 1, I think my favorite type would be Psychic type, because you get either Confusion, Psybeam, or Psychic on one of your Pokemon, and you just go and you destroy everything. But overall, I think my favorite type is Water. It might have something to do with my first starter ever being a Squirtle, and one of my favorite Pokemon being the Marsh Stomp. And we got a TM. Let's see what the TM is. Let's see here. We got Thunder Wave. That's pretty good. I think... should we give that to Tumor? Yeah, let's give Tumor Thunder Wave. I think he could take hits the best to take advantage of that. So, there we go. We gave Weezing a TM. Let's see if this guy's neighbor has anything that we can take. He does, and we don't even have to battle him for it. We found a Great Ball. That's pretty great. So yeah, as I was saying, water is really my favorite type for Pokemon. Mostly because most water types that you see are really, really defensive. Not only that, they can also have great attacking stats. And I know that they're just really bulky, powerful Pokemon. So that's one entire deck cleared. So let's see. Do you have any items? You don't. So we're gonna leave you alone. We might get through the SSN a lot faster than I thought. Nope, nothing in here. You don't have anything. You don't have anything. So there's a lot of other really... I think we might... This might be the only one we have to battle. And yes, I do love Pokemon. There are a lot of great types in Pokemon. It wasn't really until Gen 2 when I realized that fighting types became super amazing, because they are the only type to have 5 things that are weak to them. You have Dark, Steel, Normal, Ice, and Rock, which, you know, it does that is good. That's good coverage. It's the only thing that's Normal is weak to, and it's just I always try and have a fighting type on my teams, except sometimes I can't because of the way I picked it out, or at least a fighting type move. Now let's see what our item is. Oh, another TM. Let's see what TM25 is. Hopefully something amazing like Flamethrower? Pin Missile. Let's see here. Do I want to teach Pin Missile to someone? I think I'm going to hold on to that for now. I might sell it. But I think that little adventure into there was totally worth it. You don't have anything for me. In between episodes, I did go down and raid the kitchen just to take a little bit of time off. And there wasn't really anything in there that was worth mentioning. I don't even remember what it was. Let me check and see. I think it was another repel. So you didn't miss out much. Sorry if you feel betrayed that I did that in between episodes. I don't see anything on deck, so we're going to go back and clear up this deck, and we're making really good time. I mean, yeah, we do have a rival battle, but we'll at least make it into Lieutenant Surge's gym. I'm very confident. Another type that is really good that we gotta battle both of them. That I always underestimated until I started trying to figure out what types were the best to have moves of on a team. Is I always overlooked Ground and Rock, because they both do have 4 types that they are super effective against. Ground is good against Poison, Steel, Rock. We're going to have to go back and heal. Do we have an antidote with us? Because I don't know if Pirate Equine will survive that long. Well, maybe. Well, he's level 30 or 23 now. Venusaur. I want my Grizzly to eat that. He needs to eat his vegetables. It's something that he doesn't do often enough, and it really bothers me. But yeah, Ground is super effective against poison and steel and fire and rock. So that's some pretty good coverage right there as well. And rock is good against flying types, ice types, fire types, and bug types. So that's another one that has 4 different types that are weak to it. An execute, say, how delightful. Oh no, he hit me. He hit me 2 times. But yeah, I would be really interested to hear what your favorite types are. One type that I am growing to appreciate more that I was never a fan of is the poison type. Not exactly sure why I dislike the poison type so much. Oh, we do have an antidote. We don't even have to go back to heal. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this guy on to get that item. Poison types, they just did not have very many good moves in the first gen, and that's why I really played. I mean, they really didn't start getting good moves until, I think, 4th gen and later, maybe. I could be completely wrong, but... And they were weak against Earthquake, and I love using Earthquake, which I might use a max elixir on Pyre Equine because of that. But, so looking at this team, obviously we have 2 poison-type Pokemon on it, which, you know, is kind of ironic since that's one of my least favorite types. So Rhydon, let's go into Mog Grizzly. And we'll scout to see what this thing has with Leech Seed. And then we'll bite him. Horn Attack. I do think we need to go back and heal before we face our rival, unfortunately. Oh gosh, I might need to switch into... Actually, I am going to switch into Ghastly. I don't think Rhydon has any ground-type moves. At least I don't think he has Earthquake. And if he does have something that'll hurt Shinigami, well, that's my fault for switching him in. But... Oh, yes, we do have 2 Poison-type Pokemon on our team. So I feel like at some point it's possible that the Tuma might be taken off our team. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but he is not our starter. He does not have... Well, he does have a TM on him now, but it's nothing super fantastic, amazing, wow. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. There is... Oh, he was a developer. Hey, Zim, I beat you. Because you're a developer, right? Kind of? And we found a revive. Okay, so if you missed the first episode with some of the extra rules, the revives are like tokens that I can cash in to get an extra encounter. So that is one more encounter that we can have at some time. The only catch with this encounter is I have to declare when I go into an area that I want to use this revive. I can't scout around and say, oh, I want to catch this. And catch or fail, I use it up. So, them is the rules I'm putting on that revive. But we do have an extra, or a token to use somewhere. So, other really great types, or advantages to words. I can say words. I'm saying words now. Are they words that are really adding to this conversation? Well, technically, these words are the only part of the conversation. We're going to drop this and we're going to continue. Other great types about... Other great features about some types. I believe fire is another type that has 4 weaknesses. Ice, grass, steel, and bug. You know, steel was a very, very, very defensive type, so it's great for that. Please, plus completely immune to poison. Ooh. So, interesting fact about Persian. In the Gen 1 game, it is one of the most terrifying Pokemon because your crits are based off of your speed stat, and Persian has an insanely high speed stat. Plus, if it uses, I think it's Slash, has a really high crit chance. It does a lot of critting, so you can get a lot of really powerful hits off with this thing. And so some other really great advantages of the fire type. It does have, I think, 3 weaknesses to ground, rock, and water, which means in the original games, if you started out with a Charmander, you're going to have a tough time with the first 2 gym leaders, the first 3 if you've already evolved your Charizard, but at that point, nothing's really going to be an issue for you. And we got another token. That's pretty awesome. I'm very excited for that. So we get a couple more encounters, which is, you know, the fun part of this game. Well, the whole game is fun, but getting encounters is really fun. Where are we, and how do we get there? So let's go heal up quick. The only issue I have with the speed up button is it's more like teleportation in this game. Like that. How did I get over here? Where am I? Who are you? Very confusing. So my favorite type, water type, it doesn't have the best coverage. It's good against ground, rock, and fire, which I personally feel that having a water, grass, and electric type is redundant on your team, because grass is good against ground, rock, and water, and water is good against ground and rock, and if you have an electric type, that's good against water. So it's always felt kind of redundant to me to have that. So generally, I always have a water type in my team when I build it, because obviously I love the water typing, but I usually either have a grass or an electric type. That's just my personal preference. Maybe you're down in the comments like, oh, what are you talking about? Water types are such a huge threat, and they got the water and the ground types, so you really do need both. And I wouldn't disagree with you. Oh, I should be reading his text. So how's your Pokedex coming? I already caught 40 kinds, pal. Different kinds are everywhere. Crawl around in grassy areas. Do I have to crawl? They seem to pop out at me if I walk. Zim wants to fight, and he is a grass-type trainer, which means he will be at my mercy when I switch into Tatuma, which someone has requested that I change his name from Tumor to Tatuma. So that will be happening once I hit Lavender Town. Whether he's alive or not, I'm switching his name to that. So other really great types. Bug type didn't really get all that good until it got better at Gen 2 because they got Mega Horn. Otherwise, I think their most powerful move was Twin Needle. Could be wrong about that. And we need to switch Pirate Equine out from the front of our party. But after this battle, I'll do that because he's good against grass types. And my rival seems to be a grass-type trainer. Oh, he's completely grass-type now, because he started out with a Bellsprout. I wonder if it's a Weepinbell yet. But why? Oh, I'm fine with that. That Bulbasaur looks like he really ticked off about something. I wonder if it's something he ate. Anyway, so of bug types, they're good against Psychic, Dark, Grass, and I think they have another one that they're good against. Let me think here. Maybe yes, maybe no. Not entirely sure. Our horsey was tired. We should let our horse take a nap. And, you know, there are a couple from Gen 2 of steel bug types that, you know, they only have one weakness. They're weak to fire. And that is it. That is awesome. I mean, I've seen a lot of competitive people bring Hidden Power Fire on some of their Pokemon just because you never know. Oh, we did get it to evolve. I'm jealous. You never know when they're going to bring out a Scizor or a Fortress. Which Fortress is an amazing Pokemon with its move pool. I mean, it gets Volt Switch. It gets 2 or maybe 3 types of entry hazards, Rapid Spin. It's insane. And I do want to have a team with a Fortress on it someday soon. Oh great, our Pyro Equine is poisoned again. So I hear there was a Cut Master on board, but he was just a seasick old man. But Cut itself is really useful. You should go see him. Smell ya! I just showered. You might be wondering, why did you just shower? Well, this is being recorded on Saturday, and I spent all day today in the woods working with my dad, doing preparation for maple syrup. I'm not sure if you know how the difference between the different ways that maple syrup is made, or at least the sap is collected, or even if you know anything about that process. I'm going to talk to you about the whole process of making maple syrup to help explain what I was doing today. I don't know if I'll be able to fit the whole thing in the remainder of this episode. Looks like the SSN is going to be pretty much this entire episode, unfortunately. And I am sorry about that, BZ people. I really wanted to get more done in this episode than that. But the goodbye boat. That's the fastest that boat has ever moved. So maple syrup is made from maple sap. The way you do that is in the springtime when it starts to warm up. Usually once it starts getting above freezing, which I'm sure for some of you BZ people it rarely ever hits that, and I am jealous, but I'll take my Wisconsin winters. But once you do start to hit that sweet spot where it gets above freezing during the day, the trees start to wake up, and the maple trees start to produce maple sap. And we harvest that by drilling a hole in the tree, putting a tap in, and then collecting that. The way my family did that for years was we used bags that we would put on the tree, or buckets. And then you'd have to go and collect that from each and every single tree. As you can guess, that took up a majority of my time as a child in the spring. I am very, very, very grateful that we no longer are going to be collecting that way. And I feel like I should explain right now, Scrambled question mark is just an HM slave. He is only on the team to be able to use HMs for us. He's not technically a member of the team. Oh, that's right. This generation, you actually had to select them. Man, it's been a long time since I played this gen. But I did promise you that we would make it to Lieutenant Surge's gym, and I want to battle a trainer or two to see what the gym's levels are, to see if I need to do any training in between episodes. And I totally forgot to switch out Pyre Equine from the front. So Lieutenant Surge is a rock type trainer, which I can go either way. Looks like we're still a bit over leveled, so I think I'm just going to try and solve the puzzle and go straight to Surge. There's a very good chance we might end up fighting some of his people as I stumble around this place. But I'm going to finish my explanation of maple syrup for the end of this episode. We now have it on something that is called a vacuum pump. Essentially, we still use taps, but they're attached to plastic tubing. Oh, I don't want to be here. That is hooked up to something that's known as a vacuum pump, and we essentially pump the sap straight out of the tree into a tank. What we do with it from there is we get back to our sugar shack, run it through something that's known as a reverse osmosis machine. Now, what that does is it removes some of the water from the sap to increase the sugar content of what is in there. Then we cook it over a very, very hot stove. I believe the sap has to get up to 219 degrees before it is considered syrup. With the setup that we now have, it does not take very long for us to reach that at all. I'm going to leave Shinigami in against my better judgment and just Nightshade the Geodude. Maybe I should have confused rated him. And then once the sap is cooked until it is considered syrup, then we bottle it, sell it, and it's delicious on pancakes as a substitute for sugar in many recipes, including pies. And that right there is why I did not want to go into Pyre Equine. But, so that is part of what my family does. Now, how that ties into my original story is what I was doing in the woods all day was we were setting up a new woods to be on vacuum line, and so we were running the tubing. Oh, we get to see Shinigami evolve this episode. Sweet. We were running the... You know what? I'm not going to talk during this. I see you, Haunter. Haunter the Shinigami. Shinigami the Haunter? That one. We were running the tubing between the trees for getting that set up to be on a vacuum pump. But that is it. We are out of time for this episode. Thank you for coming out and checking this. Don't forget to answer what your favorite type of Pokemon is down below. And don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends about it. Leave any suggestions for nicknames. If you have any suggestions for places that you've seen Pokemon that are just like, you have to go and try and see if you can encounter these. Leave that down below. For where we use our revive tokens, which I might start a little counter up in the upper, let's say upper right corner, for how many revive tokens we have. And I might, we'll talk about that later if it comes up. But anyway, thank you for coming out. Thank you for checking out this episode. Your support means everything to me. And just remember, BZ people, Bork and Zim Gaming, we make this look easy.